I'll never forget, yo, I was in a relationship after somebody I was with in college. Like I dated somebody in college, and then shortly after I dated someone else. And in college, I used to put pictures of me and my ex, or my girlfriend at the time, of course. Like I used to put our pictures on the internet and stuff like that, maybe like on Instagram or Twitter, and just, like, oh, I'm posting a couple pictures, whatever. Come to find out, after we broke up, I'm thinking I deleted all the pictures. But no, there was a paper trail still online, so that my next girlfriend found it. She searched for it and found it. And I didn't even know that those pictures were still up elsewhere. And I was like, yo, first of all, if you go looking for something 9 times out of 10, you're going to find it.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves
and then apply to the community.
Let's grow.
Beautiful thing, beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. We are back for another one, my friends. Let's get it going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Residual Impact Podcast. You already know who it is. I already introduced myself, but hey, make sure you are following us on Instagram at Residual Impact Podcast. You can find me at Brandon.Gio.
And you can find me at J_Mike Moore.
Just to keep up with us and see what's going on when we're not recording. But for those of you guys who have been doing that, we thank you so much. It's like every day I kind of wake up and I'm like, where are these followers coming from? Like, who's this? Who's that? But I'm guessing it's people who have tapped into the show. So
hopefully.
Beautiful
thing, though.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, Mike, before we start, man, you already know we got to go over the housekeeping rules. So real quick, if you guys are new to the YouTube channel, first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It goes a long way and it really pushes us through the algorithm, whether you like us or not. Even if you don't like us, just make sure you leave a comment down below as to why you may not like us or what we can do to improve the channel. But still hit that thumbs up, because if you don't like something about us, somebody else most likely will. It really helps the channel out a lot, so we greatly appreciate that. And for those of you guys who are listening to us on the many podcast platforms, please don't forget to leave a review down below, especially if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, because whenever you leave a review, especially if it's a 5-star review, if you really love us, anytime somebody listens to a podcast that's similar to ours, our podcast will pop up in the recommended show slot. So, whoever you listen to that's close to us, it'll recommend our show to them, even if it's somebody who doesn't tap in already. Like, our show will be able to be discovered, and the more people discover us, the more people listen to us and tune into us, the more opportunities we'll have, and the sooner we can start doing live shows for you guys, and the sooner we can go on tour. So it's a win-win.
I agree. I agree. I think that's the goal right there. So
that is the goal.
We do appreciate that.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, with that out of the way, man, how was your week, brother? We just gonna get right into it.
Well, my week was good. I got to go see family, so man, it was definitely a needed, just a good little break, and just good. It's always refreshing to be around loved ones.
Yeah.
A lot of my family lives in Alabama, so I mean, being around them, Alabama is a whole nother ecosystem. It's just different. It's a lot peaceful out there. It's a lot more land. It's a lot more openness, but it's very slow pace, but it's always a lot of love and family around there. So I got to just spend time with my niece, nephew. I got to go to Auburn University. That was pretty cool. I got to see what the War Eagles look like. They have a beautiful campus. A lot of money out there. I can tell you that much. It's a lot of money out there.
Nice.
But it's cool to see my nephew. He's playing basketball out there. And what else did I do? Oh man, dude, I was out there country, I shot guns, bro. I that was cool.
Oh, so you came back with that 5?
I ain't come back with that 5, but hey, just know I know how to use that 5 if I need to. I realized that, you know what I'm saying? Cause for real, I was out there. I think that was maybe the first time I shot a pistol before, bro. And I was getting bullseyes, man. Like, and it was pretty cool. So it definitely, I still don't like guns, but I like them in the fact of like shooting them at a target, like a paper, not a person. But yeah, I think I might get one for myself. But other than that, what else did I do? I mean, I played cards, rode 4-wheelers. It was just fun. It was just good to like just be outside. I was really outside, not in like the ghetto way that we think about.
The ghetto way, yeah.
I mean? Like,
hey, ain't nothing ghetto about that, man.
Come on, like not the thottish way. I should say basically. I was
ain't nothing thottish about. Well, never mind. Let me retract that.
Yeah.
So the way some people use it can be pretty thotty, but you know, I don't use it that way. Still, this summer. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on, wait a minute.
My bad. Hey, I know where you're going with that.
But nah, other than that, it was just cool. Just I think that was just about it, man. It was just good to relax and yeah, just be around my family. But other than that was it. How about you, man?
Well, let's just say that this past week has brought some changes into my life. Some great, some not so great. Okay. Now, you and I have talked about the not so great. I'm not going to go ahead and address it on the show just yet. I'll talk about it another time, whenever that time shall come. But you know, the not so great. It's part of life. Stuff happens, and it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say for now on that. But as far as the great goes, I know we were just pretty much talking about being outside. And recently, before we even pressed record, I made a reference to how I might not be outside this summer. I mentioned it a few episodes ago that I did meet someone. Things have been moving pretty faster than I expected. So who knows? You know, who knows what the future holds? But I think I know Crew Season has spoke on it before, but they talked about whenever you find a really good woman, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're on your purpose, if you're not even really out there searching for somebody, but you just happen to come across a really good woman, lock her down. Do not let her get away. And, you know, not in a creepy sense, obviously, but, you know, don't let her go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm pretty sure, I'm not just going to say I think, I'm pretty sure I found someone really great. So I don't know if I'm going to be outside with you this summer, my guy. You know, I know when I first mentioned it, when I got here today, you was like, yo, I thought we were supposed to be outside this summer.
Man.
We were supposed to be outside this summer. I don't know, man. I've been outside for 2.5 years, so I'm trying to get out these streets.
I'm not mad at you, though, especially like you said, if you found somebody that you feel is really good and that adds value to you and that doesn't really like disrupt what you got going on, but like complements it, bro, like you said, go for it.
Yeah. And especially, again, to tie back to something that you said episodes ago, I believe was when we had Autumn on the show last. You said that you heard someone speak about how the right woman will find you in motion.
Yes.
Literally, bro. Like, I went in with blinders on. And I don't know if I talked about this previously, but I went to this event, minding my business, just going to learn and you know, pick up stuff from other podcasts. It was a podcast event. And I had no intention, none at all, of finding somebody. I just had blinders on. And then it just so happened that, you know, we started talking, and then next thing you know, we hanging out in the entire event. And then, you know, exchanged numbers, exchanged Instagram, and asked her out like a week or so later. She said yes, and the rest is history.
Look at that. That's the best ones.
Yeah.
Organic.
Yeah. Didn't force anything. You know, it was great to meet somebody in person for once. Like, so used to meeting people online and sliding in DMs and being on dating apps. Like, even though I don't really take dating apps seriously, it's just refreshing to kind of, you know, meet somebody in person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look at y'all now. Like, that definitely has shown how something was meant, because look how it's gradually gotten to where it is now. Yeah. So that's a good look, man.
It is. So, you know, sorry I can't really be outside with you this summer like that.
Yeah, man. I'm going to call Dre. Dre come outside.
I mean, hey, Dre's cuffed up too, but, you know.
Come on, that's Dre we talking about.
Hey, Dre, if you listening, man, that's how much he thinks about you, bro. But
man.
hey, you got a point though. You got a point. No cap, you got a point.
Come on now, nah. But nah, if he got one, he got one. But I know he may have one this week, but he might not have one next week. You never know with Dre.
Lord,
that's funny.
It's an evil world we live in.
Hey, it be like that sometimes, man.
Nah, that's what's up though, man. I'm happy for you. It's always better to have that versus being randomly out there in the streets, never knowing what you're gonna have. So,
bro, because like we've said before, man, it's crazy out there.
It is. But it's a lot of good out there. I mean,
yes, it is. But it's like you're wading through a water, like you're swimming through the water trying to find that good.
Yes.
And it's typically like, and this is something I talked to her about earlier today. Actually, she mentioned it to me. When you're looking for somebody, you tend not to find what you're looking for. You may find someone, but it might not be the right thing for you at that moment.
Yeah.
We weren't looking for anybody, and it just happened. Like, that's organic, like really, truly organic.
Yeah.
So going through the streets and trying to weed out, who it is that you don't like and who you might like, or, okay, well, this one's a scammer, right? But at the same time, she like to play dudes. You know what I'm saying? She's not for me. She might be for fun for a little bit, but she's not really for me, like wifey material. Maybe I'll go into somebody else. Oh, this next person, she's not a scammer. She like to cheat on brothers. I'm gonna try to stay away from that. So let me see this girl right here. Oh, she don't cheat. She got decent credit. It may not be the best, but she got decent credit. And she wasn't in trouble for scamming or anything like that. All right, I'm gonna pursue this right here. Next thing you know, you find out she's still in love with her ex. Who knows? Like, you got a lot to weed out, man, before you find that person.
Oh man, you ain't lying.
So
you ain't lying. That's why it's just. Well, I don't know. I'm in a whole nother ball game. So I'm mentally right now. I'm not even.
I get it.
You already know.
Yeah. So stay out them streets, man. I know you got dropped off in the streets, but
most definitely. Like I'm chilling, bro. I'm really focused on me. I'm really focused on growing myself. So it's like anybody that comes into my life, they would have to be I just need them to just be my friend. That's it. I just want a friend. That's it. That's all I need. Just give me a friend. I don't really need nothing with a title on it, of course.
I hear that. So for you fellas out there who are listening, and for you ladies, you know what I'm saying? Just be patient. Like, I mean, I guess it sounds cliche enough, but good things really do come to those who wait. But I would say in situations of relationships anyway, normally with stuff like jobs or like finding like income or going after your dreams and stuff like that, I wouldn't say be too patient with that. You got to go for that stuff. But when it comes to, relationships and stuff like that, especially with the fellas, man, stay on your purpose. And I think, like Mike has said before in the past, the right woman will pretty much find you in motion. So I wholeheartedly agree with that because I'm actually living that. So, yeah, man, that's all I can say for you gentlemen. And for you ladies, like, I'm sure it's attractive to see a man who's in motion, to see a man who's on his purpose. You don't necessarily want to fall for his potential per se. Maybe you might like where he's going. You might see that the brother has a plan and he knows where he's going in life, and he is capable of being a leader. Maybe you can follow his leadership because of the type of man that he has proven himself to be. Not what he tells you he's going to do, but what he actually shows you. So that's my message to you ladies and gentlemen out there. Don't really be spending so much time looking, but just let things happen organically.
Facts. That'd be the best kind.
For real. So speaking of organically, I wanted to talk about going viral real quick.
We going viral?
I would hope that we go viral. Hey, y'all out there, make something happen. Share this episode 1,000 times plus. Keep sharing. But this young lady earlier this week, as of this recording, recently went viral for posting herself in her Home Depot uniform on social media. And she posted it because she supposedly gets told that she's too pretty to be working at Home Depot. And she just blew up. So this was a post that, I've seen the post on Twitter. That's where I saw it originally. But according to, Spiritual Word, It shows that Twitter user Ariana posted a tweet on Friday saying, "The one job I work at that I get reminded I'm too pretty to work at," not knowing this tweet would be viewed by 20 million people that day. She clarified that she doesn't think she's too pretty to work anywhere. She states she works at Home Depot because it's a decent job that pays good while she's in school. Ariana hopes her post inspired little girls to realize getting money the right way is possible, and you gain so many insightful things and benefits to doing it. So I just thought that was an interesting story. You've seen her pictures. I mean, she's cute.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, she's cute. I wouldn't say that she's too pretty to work at Home Depot. I don't think I would tell anybody that, but it was just kind of interesting after she posted that and went viral, how I saw so many people on Twitter posting themselves in their Home Depot aprons.
Were they trying to get picked up too?
I guess they were hoping the same thing was going to happen. Like, hey, let me ride the wave. Like Ariana created the wave. Let me just ride the wave while it's hot. Maybe I'll go viral as well.
I guess. I mean, did it work?
I don't know. I didn't really keep up with it, so maybe it didn't work for people like me who wasn't really paying attention to it. But, clearly this young lady, Ariana, she clearly went viral. She caught my attention. Like her story at least caught my attention because every time I log into Twitter or Instagram, I see a post about her coming up. So,
She cute. Does it say how old she is?
I don't know. I don't see her age anywhere, but like going to her Instagram, I mean, she has a blue check. I'm guessing, obviously, it's probably paid for it. Like we've talked about it in the past, because I don't think you can get a blue check organically anymore. But not to discredit her. I'm not saying that to discredit her, by the way. But she has 161,000 followers as of June 14th. Now, I don't know how many followers she had before, but I can only assume that it wasn't anywhere near 161K.
I ain't gonna lie. The last picture she put up, she looked pretty good in that one.
The last picture? Oh, yeah. I see. So her caption says, "Without the makeup or a filter, I'm a 5." So, pretty humble, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she said, "I mix paint, y'all." So I like the humbleness, though. I mean, she's just like, this is what I do.
But the reason why I brought this up, I think it has something to do with our society and how badly so many of us just want to go viral for whatever it is that we do. Now, here we have a young lady who actually went viral just posting a picture of herself in her work uniform. But then you have, every once in a while, you may have some people doing some outlandish stuff just to try to get attention. For example, I don't know if you remember Montana Fishburne. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Kind of. I don't know about the face right now. Those.
One of Lawrence Fishburne's daughters.
Okay.
Right. So a few years ago, she wanted to go viral for becoming an adult actress. And her reason was because of Kim Kardashian. Okay. How Kim Kardashian went viral because of her infamous tape with Ray J.
Okay.
Montana Fishburne tried to duplicate the same thing so that she can go viral. But it's like, why would you even need to do that? You're Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. Your dad is a well-known actor.
Maybe I have no idea.
Bruh.
I don't know. I don't know the minds of certain kids, and But her dad is like, even though he's a well-known actor, it's like his generation is different from her generation.
Correct.
So like a lot of we know who he is, but probably her generation is not really like in tune with her dad like that.
But here's the thing, though. I think she's actually a part of our generation. Like this was years ago when this happened. Like I remember, I think this happened around the time I was in college, like not too long after Dre and I met, because we met at school. So she was legal, obviously, around that time, because she was actually starring in an adult film with former adult actor Brian Pumper. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was somebody he ended up being famous, and people used to say he looked like Lloyd Banks. So this was probably around 2010, maybe, that this happened. So I would say right now, Montana Fishburne, she has to be at least 30 years old, at least.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, this was not too long after the last Matrix movie came out. I think the last Matrix movie came out in 07 or 08 or something like that. The third Matrix movie, not the most recent one that we've talked about within the last 2 years, but
Yeah.
I think it was Matrix Revelations or something like that, or Revolutions, whatever. But I mean, he was still kind of like popular off the Matrix franchise. So it's like, why would you want to be in the spotlight so bad and go viral when your dad is Lawrence Fishburne? Anyway, like I just say all of that to say, like, she was willing to get into the adult film industry just to make a name for herself. So much so that I think Lawrence Fishburne kind of ended up like disassociating himself from her because of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what their relationship is like today, but I just remember that was the case a few years ago.
I mean, look at Paris Hilton. She kind of started it off, but bro, her family they make billions.
Yeah,
bro.
they're loaded. That Hilton empire is something else, man.
And she still does what she does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at that.
Well, hey, I guess it's the sign of the times. Like, even now, more so that we are in this social media generation, so many people are doing whatever they can do just to go viral. You know, somebody pointed out that she might be speaking against stuff like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Because like so many young women nowadays, just immediately when they turn 18, want to jump to OnlyFans, and you know, because they see a lot of these young women who are on the platform selling their bodies or doing sexual acts on OnlyFans for, you know, $10 per person that subscribes to their platform, and they're making 6 figures or more.
Yep.
So, hey, not to knock them, you know, hey, you're grown adults, you do whatever it is that you want to do as long as it's not harming anybody. But, you know, there are consequences to stuff like that and stuff that you may not see right away. But
what happened is I got a teenage son and they're fucking obsessed with me. They fucking sing my songs in his school. They talk about like how hot of a mom I am. And my son's friends started finding my OnlyFans. So now it's hard for me to promote. And because now my son's going to school, like getting teased and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's hard having a teenage son and being a hot mom.
I've seen stories of adult actresses who say that their families don't want anything to do with them anymore just because of how they have portrayed themselves and how they have degraded themselves and you know, done stuff on camera or had stuff done to them on camera for the world to see.
I mean, you know, you already know. We already talked about that with the type of age that we live in as far as that goes. So
that was the main reason why I wanted to talk about this story to you guys. I mean, there's a lesson to be learned in anything that we talk about. We don't just want to report certain things and just leave it at that. No, like there's a lesson in this. Just be careful, you know, be careful of the information that you put out. Like we're so used to tagging our locations and stuff like that. And I'm guilty of it. I try my hardest not to tag my exact location, especially while I'm there at that location. Sometimes I'll wait till after the fact. Like even when I go on vacation, I don't like to tag where I am right then and there, like at that time. Like I'll wait till I leave.
Right.
Then I'll post like, oh, I was here on vacation or blah, blah, blah. And
right.
You might think that I'm still there, but I'm not. I'm back home already. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I've caught myself posting and it's like your phone kind of has your location on you, especially if you use the GPS on your phone a lot. You can kind of tailor it to like turn off only, you know, like when you're not using your GPS or when you're not using certain apps, but certain apps will still try to track your location. Like if you post on Twitter and your location services are turned on, they will try to post pretty much where you are. So I try to be mindful of that when I tweet, and I'll just change it to a general area if I do post a location, just so I can kind of get a little bit more traffic on the post. But I try not to post my location. Yeah, y'all know I went to Georgia State, but I don't go there anymore. So good luck trying to find me based off of that. But I'm just saying, like, she said she had her school in her bio.
Yeah.
So yeah, she had her school in her bio. People noticed she worked at Home Depot. And
I mean, you know how big Home Depot is. What they gonna do? Like, well, okay, they probably could find her because she did say she mixed paint, so she's gonna be in the paint
It's
section.
an evil world we live in.
hey,
I just
listen,
put 2 and 2 together. So,
like she said, if you do math, you could find her, and that's exactly what happened. So just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. I know we live in the culture now where like going viral is something major, right? Yeah. Clout is the new currency. And I'm not saying she's doing this for clout, but she now has a platform because she went viral. 20 million views on a post. Bruh, imagine if we got 20 mil on any one of our posts. I think the most views that we've gotten on one of our posts was like 4,000 and some change.
Well, nah, we got 5,000 before. A little bit over 5. Remember the Louis thing?
Oh, you're right. Back okay,
in
so 5,000. Yeah, because we posted something about Louis Vuitton. So, all right, you're right. But still, it's like that's just insane. I can't even imagine 20 mil.
It could be a good or a bad thing, though.
It could be.
That's the only thing.
In her situation, it turned out to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. Like you said, she's a woman, so people are just they're different when it comes to finding women. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, y'all gotta chill first and foremost. Like, come on. Just because you can find somebody doesn't mean you have to. Like, what was the point in that? You think like, oh, I found you now. Like, let me try to talk to you. No,
exactly.
It ain't that simple, bro. But I say all of that to say again, when you guys are posting stuff, please just be careful.
Facts.
Please, like, be careful of the information that you put out there. I mean, especially nowadays, a lot of our information is public. So you can potentially find phone numbers online, address online. And it's, of course, because of the stuff that we post on a regular basis and, put out locations and certain stuff, like, people can add up. There are detectives out there on the internet, man. And I'm not talking about, like, official police detectives. I'm talking about Black Twitter especially. Y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all find anybody.
People will. I think that's why it's just important, too, to make sure that the message that you put out is a good message. You don't ever want to be trying to make enemies and stuff like that because you have to watch over your back. But, yeah, I think definitely you have people that are detectives. I know women are very good at that. I'm just
Bro, what?
They are very good at that.
I'll never forget, I was in a relationship after somebody I was with in college. Like, I dated somebody in college, and then shortly after I dated someone else. And in college, I used to put pictures of me and my ex, or my girlfriend at the time, of course. Like, I used to put our pictures on the internet and stuff like that, maybe like on Instagram or Twitter, and just, like, oh, I'm posting a couple pictures, whatever. Come to find out, after we broke up, I'm thinking I deleted all the pictures. But no, there was a paper trail still online so that my next girlfriend found it. She searched for it and found it. And I didn't even know that those pictures were still up elsewhere. And it's like, yo, first of all, if you go looking for something 9 times out of 10, you're going to find it.
Yes.
Second of all, what the heck is wrong with you? I'm with you now. I'm clearly not with this other person. What is your problem trying to dig for pictures or information of me and the girl that I dated before you? What's the point?
Like you said, man, you go looking for it, you're going to find it. That's definitely, of course, some insecurity, but
yeah,
I don't know.
So, man, we got detectives out here. Yo, just be careful. Again, be careful with what you post. I've learned lessons. I'm not posting no significant other. We better be married. Like, and even if that, I'm not going to be posting you that much. But I'm not posting another woman that I'm seeing until we're married. Bottom line.
That's an interesting one. What if they post you?
I mean, you could post me, but
and then they tag you.
I could always remove the tag.
But then what, they be like, why are you removing the tag? You don't like me? Think I'm ugly?
I don't think it's that deep, but hey, the person who I'm talking to now, we have an understanding.
Okay.
So I told her I'm not gonna post anything. I'm not gonna post her at all, unless we were married. And she said in a previous relationship of hers, somebody who she was with, really was kind of insecure about her not really posting him. And I said, I don't care. Don't post me. You don't got to worry about that. I have my own platform. Okay. I post myself. I post the podcast. Like, you ain't got to worry about posting me.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm the same way. I mean, I don't have to be posted, nor do I feel like I have to post you.
Correct.
So
I said, if anything, if I post something of us together, I'll post like maybe your hand in the background or like the back of your head so people can see your hair. I said I was so petty that I showed her a picture of us and I cropped most of her body out, and all you could see is like part of her hair and one of her earrings and part of her dress. So like, I'm standing next to a woman in the shot and I'm smiling from ear to ear, but you ain't gonna know who it is unless you actually know who it is.
Facts.
So
I mean, it's understandable. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, because keep people out of your business.
That's a fact.
So
I think it makes for a happy life, but because we're in this social media era, this social media generation, and I'm not just talking about Gen Z, because Generation Y, us millennials, we are guilty of it too. Mm-hmm. We were around since the inception of social media.
Yep.
back in the days of like MySpace, even before MySpace, whatever was out before MySpace.
Black Planet.
Man, I barely used Black Planet, but I know I had an account. Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was something else too. I can't think
there
of
was
the name right now.
there were a few things before MySpace, but MySpace kind of like popularized social media and the way we interacted with people across the country. Then after MySpace, it was Facebook. Then of course Instagram. And now whatever else is out. I mean, you can even go back as far as YouTube. YouTube came out in like 2006 or something like that. So it's like, yo, it's just we were around again for the inception of all of this stuff.
Yeah,
but like we've said on the previous episode, we know life before social media. We knew what it was like to go outside and play ball or go ride bikes or go skating or whatever with our friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We weren't constantly on social media. We weren't constantly walking around recording stuff for content. We weren't constantly trying to go viral for some odd reason. Nowadays, mostly I will say with Gen Z, a lot of people in Gen Z, like when they probably were in elementary school, social media was already out. So they really grew up with it. They probably might not remember what it was like, you know, depending on what year you were born. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You have a point. So, that's a whole nother challenge that they got to work through.
Speaking of challenges, it's like
what?
Challenges, like viral challenges. That's another thing. Like you just refreshed my mind about that.
Oh man.
Like I remember people were setting themselves on fire in a bathtub to go viral at one point. I forgot what type of challenge that was, but it's like they put I don't know. I think like I don't know if it was oil.
Oh, I think I seen that too. I think I know what you're talking about. I forgot what wasn't alcohol.
It might have been alcohol. It was something like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Or something like that. They put it on their body and then they lit themselves on fire in a bathtub.
Stupid. Stupid.
Bruh.
But no, it is dangerous too, because I don't know if you've ever seen the challenge of like the Kia. You ever heard of Kia boys?
No.
Basically, like they found like a fault in all Kias, like Kia cars.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. It's like a fault where all you had to do is if you had like a USB and you did something under the steering wheel, you plug that USB in, you can turn the car on almost. And they would go and steal these cars, and then they would go wreck them. But they would record themselves. And it actually became a challenge.
Oh yeah. Okay, I've seen somebody wreck a Kia Soul.
Yep.
Doing that.
They had to. I mean, so much so that Kia had to make like a huge recall and pay all these people back, and it was a thing. But it started off as a challenge, just people doing it on the TikTok. So,
bro, how do you find stuff like this, and like, how do you come up with these type of stupid challenges, especially with a Kia? How about you just like, yeah, okay, kind of like how people used to hack stuff back in the day. You hack something, and then the company finds out that you hacked it, and it's like, yo, you found a flaw in our system. We will hire you to fix that flaw. Mm-hmm. Come work for us.
I mean, they're not thinking like that. They thinking like I'm thinking the person who came up with that was like, yo, I can get this car for some parts. And
probably.
And then he probably taught somebody else, and then they just recorded it, and then, it became a thing. But I don't know, bro. This generation is crazy. I don't ever see how you could just blindly do a challenge just because you see somebody else do it.
But people do it, though. Like, you see a lot of people out here doing these pranks on the street.
Yeah.
Just random people pranking random people. Now, some of the pranks I think are, like, staged.
Yes.
Which I would hope they are. So nobody gets hurt. Like it comes off to the audience like it's not staged, but it's actually staged. Mm-hmm. So the people involved don't end up killing each other.
Right.
But you have some people who are involved in these pranks, and it's just like you either A, are going to get your butt whooped, or B, worse.
Yeah.
If you're not careful who you messing with. Like people being shot over stuff like that. People getting jumped over stuff like that. Like you don't know who you messing with. There was a video that went viral a few days ago. This dude, supposedly he was a social media prankster, walked up behind Lil Duval. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that today, actually.
Yeah, so it's like, what?
And he's always doing that, too.
Yeah. And then Lil Duval's security guards, was about to jack him up. And he did the same thing to Sukihana. And it's like, Sukihana was trending because people was like, yeah, Suki's a very sexual person, but you really just sexually harassed somebody who did not want your sexual advances.
I mean, but it gets views, brother. That's what they want. They want them views.
But it's like, at what cost?
That is the cost. They want the views, or they want whatever they feel will transpire from the views that they get. So whatever value is in the views. Ooh, value in the views. That's gonna be
Episode title?
potentially, but I don't know. Something
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
Value in the views. Come on now.
I can dig that. But I mean, it's true. Like, clout is the new form of currency. And it's just nuts how so many people are willing to risk it all.
Yeah.
Their freedom, their life, their health, over going viral.
I mean, that's the scary part. I don't know really where we're headed, because like you said, like we were a generation where we learned life without social media, but then we learned it with social media. And like where we're headed with all this new technology, bro, it's just like, I realized this weekend as I was outside more, I was around my family, and they was like, man, it's so hot out here. But I'm like, yo, it feels good, because I realize how much I just go from building to building to building. I don't really actually intentionally go outside a lot. So this weekend I was outside so much, I'm like, man, I miss this. Like, I miss just feeling the sun on my skin, and it felt better. But it's just like, to me, I just think about where we're going as far as all of this technology, bro. We're not really encouraging people to be outside anymore, or it's like it's all about the internet nowadays.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It is. But that's the life, yo. Like, some of these kids been having iPhones since they was like 7, 8 years old.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 12, but even then it was a hand-me-down. And it was like a month before 9/11 happened. So I'm not saying that, you know, my parents predicted 9/11, of course not. But I'm just saying, like, those were just the times that we were living in. You know, it was my mother's old cell phone. The antenna was broken on it. It didn't even have, like, you know, you couldn't text on it. This was like 2001. So
Talking minutes.
yeah, minutes. And then, of course, that's another thing. Like, I saw this trending on Instagram or Twitter, like one of the two. It was like, kids these days will never know what it was like growing up, having to work. Yo, I can't talk right now. You got to wait till after 9 o'clock.
Oh yeah, bro.
You got to wait till my minutes are free.
It was either after 9 or after 7, depending on who you had.
Exactly. I remember it was after 9 normally for all carriers, and then Sprint decided to do after 7.
Yeah, man.
So it tried to, you know, just try to get people to go on the Sprint. Like, oh, you get an extra 2 hours.
Yeah. Hey, them extra 2 hours. It was clutch.
You get an extra 2 hours if you switch to us.
Yeah, them 2 hours hit.
I had Sprint. You know what I'm saying? I had me a nice little Nextel. So after 7 o'clock, if I wasn't chirping somebody, it'd be like, yo, we could talk now.
Yep. Man, yeah, you're right, though. You're right. Or having to buy your actual minutes to even talk on your phone, or buy the text. That's crazy to think about. You had to buy the text because you only had a certain number of texts that you could do. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro, we lived in a whole nother generation, a whole nother time frame. So,
yeah, man, a lot of Gen Z won't even know what it's like, yo. Like, having to worry about being cautious of how much texting costs.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I got chewed out one time because I was sending text messages like, do you know how much this cost me? Do you know how much they charged me on a phone bill because you were texting? And that was back when we had T9. You know what I'm saying?
And let you send I think it was, if you sent the text
with the picture, like the multimedia. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I thought if you sent like a certain text after a certain time or something, it was more or less.
I don't remember that.
I can't remember. I could be wrong. Maybe it's if you didn't have no more text, it would be a lot of money. Yeah, but I just know it was something like that.
I just remember like simple text messages cost money, but if you sent like pictures and stuff like that, like the multimedia text messages, they cost way more.
You spending that bread.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, bro, it's just we grew up in a different generation. That's why I don't care. I'm really a person. I don't care about followers and views like that. I really don't.
Except for when it comes to the business. So make sure that you guys are following us.
Yes, please do. I just don't feed off of it like some other people do,
yeah.
man. I don't know, bro, but that's one of the things, like you say, we just grew up differently, man. So, but I see the value in it. Just not to the extent of doing whatever it takes for clout. I don't see that.
So imagine me posting myself in my work uniform. See if I go viral off of that.
Man, what? I could do that today, bro. They're gonna be like, bro, so what? So what?
Hey, it's because we not attractive women, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro.
If we were attractive women or somewhat attractive women, we probably would go viral.
Man, we not gonna. I was about to say something. We not gonna get into that because that get us in trouble.
Oh man, hey, we're gonna say that for Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon coming soon, by the way.
That's tough.
But speaking of viral, man, there was a clip that went viral recently off of this show that came from the Oprah Winfrey Network called Put a Ring on It. And this was from its 4th season. This was actually somebody who I know personally. I mean, I haven't talked to him in years, but, you know, you and I have actually been in the same room as his brother. We've had conversations with him years ago.
He know me on my phone still.
You do? Mm-hmm. Well, unless he changed it.
Still his number, right? Yeah.
Wow. I don't even think I have. I mean, I might have his numbers. I don't know. I'm going to try it and see if it is him, if I still have it. But, yo, it's crazy. Like, just to see where he was back when we knew him versus, you know, where he is now. Like, you know, he's a good friend of somebody else that we know. And they got bread. You know what I'm saying? They make money. They drive nice cars. You know, they teach a lot about business. And, you know, it's great conversations whenever we do chop it up with these brothers. But, you know, fellow entrepreneur Jacoby Mundy actually went viral because he was in a few episodes of season 4 of the show Put a Ring on It. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show, but I've actually watched the show, so I know the premise of it. Long story short is, you know, based on black couples in Atlanta who are, you know, who have been together for a few years or, you know, maybe a little less than a few years, and they're deciding on whether or not they should get married, whether or not they should date other people, you know, call it quits or put a ring on it, essentially, of course, based on the title, and actually get married to the person that they're with. So they meet with a relationship guru, a relationship specialist throughout the show. And they're put through a process to see if they should be dating other people. And in fact, one of the people who was actually in a previous season, who I saw before I actually met her in person, a friend of the show, Tanisha Renee. Shout out to Tanisha. She was in an episode on a date with a dude who I believe was an ex-Falcons player, who was one of the regular cast members of that particular season, deciding whether or not he should get married to his girlfriend. And at this moment, I don't think they're married because I actually follow the girlfriend. But that's besides the point.
Bruh.
Yeah, I don't see him in any of her pictures. I don't see the engagement ring on her finger anymore, so I don't even think they're together. But Jacoby went viral recently because of his stance on why he, I guess, didn't really care to date the young woman who he was paired to date on the show. So this is what he had to say, or this is what they had to say during a reunion special. And we'll talk about it afterwards.
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
So with that being said, man, you've seen the video, you've heard what he had to say. One thing I've definitely got from this is, like Finesse 2 Times said, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. Now, I have no problem with women out there having standards. They can have all the standards in the world. You know, whoever they choose to date is who they choose to date. Right. But what I do have a problem with is people trying to shame us for having certain standards.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. So
you're a very
intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. using condoms.
What's that got to do
Making
with
sure
your
that you,
choice?
okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. A better chance of me having a successful life.
You're speaking
by
of
finding a
you.
man. That's what I'm
Excuse me.
thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother?
Yes. And
Is your mother still
struggled.
alive?
I struggle. My mom's still
Did
alive.
she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
Did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we'll be selling.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I've built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can.
They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're
But we're
demeaning
not
a man.
talking about that.
Women
That's
can
not
talk
the
about their
situation at
What I
hand.
want
Listen,
to-
hold
That's
on.
not
A
the
woman can say, I
conversation.
want to date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
What does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
Bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back.
Yeah,
okay?
man.
So what I
I'm
want to
just
be
saying
clear,
equal
not
rights.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man.
Definitely not.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of zero. Be clear.
Just because Jacoby, and again, this is somebody who you and I have known personally. You know what I'm saying? We've been in the room with him. We talked to him. We've learned stuff from him, right? Just because he was raised by a single mother and he chooses not to date a single mother because he knows what it's like in a single parent household doesn't mean that he should be bashed for his decision not to date a single mother. Right. And I think that's exactly what happened in this clip here. Now, granted, again, I haven't watched this season. I don't know what happened. I don't know everything that was talked about in this specific reunion because I normally don't like to judge things off of a clip. I like to watch the full thing so I can kind of get the full scope of the conversation. But I think I pretty much got the full scope of this conversation because it's like, it's an issue when we have standards.
Yeah. I mean, also, I just think that it's, people always look at stuff from a limited perspective, so they don't really understand why he has made the decision that he's made to do what he wants to do. People look at it from like their own viewpoints and the things that they've, they just look at it from a limited view. And right. This man clearly has a reason for doing what he wants to do, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think you always, regardless of the matter, you're always going to have somebody that's going to, they're going to oppose what it is you're doing. I don't care. It's funny. I'll see some stuff online and I'll see like maybe the goodest of goodest things and I'll read comments and people will always find it negative for something.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. So I think that's just what's happening right here, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. It just probably rubs some people the wrong way. Like they just don't understand it, why he made the decision or why he wants to do what he wants to do.
But like, and I can agree with you on that, because maybe some of these people aren't looking at it from the scope of, we know what this man kind of came from, because you and I kind of know what he's come from. Right. Because again, we've been in the room in multiple rooms with his brother. We've talked to him before. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you still have his number in your phone. Whether he's changed that number or not, it might even be the same number. Who knows? But it's like, at one point, we were pretty much probably on the same kind of level with him as far as like finances go, or maybe something like that. But now he's worked to the point to where he's positioned himself in a place to where he makes 6 figures or he drives a certain car. I know he and Shaq, I don't know if he still drives it, but last time I saw, he drove a BMW i8. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he has something different now, but it's like Jacoby has worked to get to a certain point. And the last thing, me personally, if I had put in the amount of work that he has put in to reach the level of financial success that he's worked himself to, the last thing I would want to do is take take those resources that I've worked so hard to obtain and give it to a ready-made family. Because whether you want to believe it or not, Sure, there's some brothers out there who don't mind dating single mothers. I'm not knocking single mothers. I'm not knocking anybody who wants to date a single mother. Me personally, I don't want a ready-made family. I want to be with somebody who my first child is their first child. My first time getting married is their first time getting married. That's just my preference. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get knocked by anybody for having that preference. That's just what I want. And I think if you don't go out there and get what it is that you want, of course, within reason, like not having like outlandish standards, because what I want is not outlandish. Like there's nothing wrong with wanting somebody who doesn't have a child. That's not like, oh my gosh, it's impossible to find. Like, no, like I'm not saying, never mind. I'm not going over all that stuff. But what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with me having that type of preference. And I know that I can obtain it because I've seen it. I've dated women who have never been married. I've dated women who don't have children, and it's easily attainable. Yeah. And if I'm going to put in the time and effort, the blood, sweat, and tears into building my brand, building my character, building my resources, building what it is that I can give out to other people, what I can put in the world, what I can do to help other people in the world, I want what I want, especially when it comes to a partner, when it comes to the woman who I want to end up being with and end up marrying. And if I don't get what I want, of course, like I said, within reason, that's settling. And I'm not going to settle on that.
Rightfully so. You shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't. So
just like he shouldn't. But I feel like people are attacking him. Well, the people who disagree with what it is that he said, because they probably don't understand it from our perspective, from a man's perspective, they're attacking him because of, I guess they don't understand everything I just said about how hard he's worked to get to where he is and how he should get what he wants and not settle. Because he even said in the clip, it's settling. Yeah. If he decides, if he got with somebody who he wasn't with or who he didn't want to be with like that, that's settling.
Yeah. And you also got to just take into account people hear what they want to hear at times. So
that's true too.
People probably took that. They probably only registered certain parts of it and put two together and was like, he hates single mothers. Yeah. That's probably what they got. And that's what they're running away with. And there's probably some single mothers that were literally commenting on that. And
I'm sure there were.
I think that's what they just took and ran with it. So I hope that didn't change any of his views or thoughts. Because that's just what he wants, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Like I've told you before we started recording, man, like I've learned from my parents, I want to be married. You know what I'm saying? I want to be married. I want to keep my kids in the same household. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in the same household with my wife and my children. I would like to be married before I have children. You know what I'm saying? Married before my wife carries and stuff like that. But, not saying that that's exactly how it's going to go, but that's how I plan for things to go. Mm-hmm. And that's how I want things to go. I don't want it to be a situation to where I'm a baby father. I don't want to be a baby father. I don't want a baby mama. We've talked about it so many times about sexual discipline and how a lot of us brothers out here are not sexually disciplined, and we will go out there and hit whoever allows us to hit just because they're allowing us to do so. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how we should be moving out here in these streets.
Lord, please don't.
Right. Because trust me, I've been there when I was younger and not really focused on being disciplined. Shoot, if an attractive girl was letting me hit,
oh yeah,
it's like, why not?
Oh yeah.
But you get to a point to where it's like you get older, you worked for a lot more. You've built yourself up, whether it's your finances or your character or your belief system, your spiritual belief system, whatever the case may be. You've worked to establish those things, and you have much more to lose maybe now than you did years ago. Like when I was younger 20s, I didn't have as much to lose back then. Like I was just talking to Shorty earlier about how my credit back in college, my credit score was trash. It was trash. Let's just say it was horrible. I'm not putting a number out there, but I checked my credit score a few days ago, bro. It's up 300 points from where it was then.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm in a decent place now to where I can get certain cards, I can get approved for certain things to where I definitely couldn't get approved back then. But I had to work to build that. You know what I'm saying? So I have more to lose now than I did back then. And that's all I wanted to say. In a situation of like Jacoby, man, like I didn't like how some people, especially the hostess of this reunion special, Egypt is a prominent figure in the black community. I remember when I lived in New York, I think she worked at one of the radio stations up there. I don't know if it was WBLS or Hot 97. It was one of them, I think. But I remember her from when I was a child. And she, like I said, she's a prominent figure in the black community. And now she's hosting, the Put a Ring on It reunion specials and stuff like that. And, among other things, of course. But I really didn't like how she was trying to chop at Jacoby's character just because he has standards with who he wants to date and who he chooses not to date. Again, just to tie that back into everything that we had talked about when it came to this reunion special and how a couple of the people who were on that stage, including the hostess Egypt, were tearing into Jacoby and questioning his character and what made him high value and how he was not high value because of, his character or lack thereof. I really think that was very insensitive, and it was wrong. Instead of taking the time to get to understand where he was coming from, you had a couple people on that stage willing to cut him off and not even let him finish talking. Again, going back to what I said regarding Finesse 2 Times, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You know the rest.
I think that's going to happen with anything in life. You're always going to have somebody that's going to oppose what it is you're saying. I can say, today is the best day ever. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? Nah, it's not that great. It's this and this happened, this and this. But it's all they're going to be going based off their perspective, their things that have happened, their opinions and all that stuff. So it's like you got to just learn to take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving. Jacoby, keep your head up high. If you feel like you're a high value man, do not settle. I understand what it means, when it comes to single mothers. It's a lot that comes with it. Everybody doesn't want that. I personally, I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time too, I'm hesitant even when it comes to a single mother. Like that's a lot of responsibility. And
it is. You
know what I mean? Having been married once, that in itself is a lot of work. So to take on the relationship person
and
a mini person,
yeah,
come on, bro. That's a lot of work. So listen, he's not wrong for saying what he said.
Especially when that mini person doesn't come from you.
Yeah.
Like what I've noticed or what I've learned from some brothers who have dated single mothers, again, this is not a knock to single mothers, not a knock at all. We're just talking about the work that's involved or the benefits or the lack thereof when it comes to benefits of dating a single mother in that aspect. It's like, sure, you get to quote unquote step up and take care of somebody who's not yours, a child who's not yours, and maybe that child's father is not in his or her life. So you can become more of like a bonus parent in a sense. But at the same time, you might be, especially if you're married to the mother, you might be paying the bills for the mother and the child, putting a roof over the child's head, putting clothes on their back, putting food on their table, so on and so forth. And then you probably won't even get to discipline the child the way that you see fit because it's not your child. Or maybe that child might be old enough to be, saying stuff like, oh, you're not my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that happen. And it's, as disrespectful as it may seem, it comes from a child, so some people might excuse it, but it's like, wow.
Yep.
There was a story of a gentleman that went viral on TikTok not too long ago. It's kind of long, so I don't know if we're going to put it in here, just so you guys can hear his story. But the gentleman was talking about how I think his stepdaughter, well, he calls her his stepdaughter, even though he's not married to the mother. He was just in a long-term relationship with the mother. But he pretty much pays for the daughter's, roof over her head, clothes on her back, food on the table, paid for her to go to college and stuff like that. So after she graduated college, he was talking about how she was getting married. And, of course, the parents of the bride are usually the ones to pay for the wedding. So him, considering himself to be her stepfather, he was paying for the whole wedding, and he was going to have the wedding at his place. And, they were going to get married in the backyard and stuff like that. But she, instead of wanting the stepfather to walk her down the aisle, wanted her biological father to walk her down the aisle. And dude said that her biological father wasn't even in her life like that. She wanted her biological father to walk her down the aisle. She wanted her biological father to give her away. And she wanted to dance with her biological father and not necessarily her stepfather. So he felt some type of way about that. And bro, I would too. You mean to tell me this dude has not really been in your life? I helped raise you. I paid for your, for everything. I paid to put you through college. I'm paying for your wedding. You don't even want me to give you away? What?
I mean, I don't know that. I don't know the whole backstory to whatever their relationship is, but I mean, that's one of the things that when you're getting into that situation that you got to have the talks about. So,
yeah.
I mean, I know that you do take on the role of a father, but I don't think nothing can take away the biological dad. Like, even if they're not there, nothing can truly take away that being their dad. Now, I do agree that your presence of stepping into that role definitely plays a role. And if he did all that for her, I can understand why his frustrations of like, wow, you don't want me to walk you down the aisle. But as someone who's been in her life, I would just want to see her happy. So,
of course.
I mean, you said he paid for everything?
Yeah.
He could be petty.
And he actually was. He was like, you know what? Since y'all don't even want me to be a part of it. Like, there was more to the story. Like I said, the story is long. Story's long, so I don't even think I'm going to include the clips in this. But, yeah, it was just like to the point to where, yeah, they were supposed to be giving a speech or something like that. And, I think it was like at the wedding rehearsal or something like that, he gave a speech and was like, you know what? Since I'm not so much a part of this family as I thought I was, I'm not paying for a damn thing. You're not having the wedding at my, like, none of that. He was petty with it.
Yeah.
Very petty.
I mean, if she cut him out of everything and didn't really allow him to be a part of it, then yeah, I can understand, like, yeah, okay, why am I paying for all this? And, you're not really respecting me and what I'm doing. So, let your dad pay for it then.
Right. Another part of it was the catering. I think he said he was allergic to some of the food that was being catered. And it's like, okay, if I'm paying for everything, including the catering, why is it that I can't have somewhat of a say in what gets served? Especially because it's technically my food. Even though it's your wedding, like, I need to eat too. But y'all gonna serve this and I don't. It's like that caused some conflict. So
no, I do agree with you on that one. But like you said, that's one of the things that you just have to consider when dating a single mother. And you see, like, that in itself, bro. It's like you got to wrap your head around that. And then you got to deal with, we're not even talking about the actual relationship that you have with the mother, because that's the most important thing.
Of course.
So it's just, yeah, dude, that's a lot, man. And I can understand anyone that is hesitant or cautious when it comes to dating a single mother. But single mothers need love too, though.
And I understand that. Again, I'll say it again. This is not a knock to any single mothers at all. We do appreciate what you do for the kids that you have. Like, you were put in a situation, whether it's a situation that you put yourself in or a situation that you had no choice but to be in. I've seen both. So don't argue with me on that one. I don't want to hear it. I mean, whether it's, like I said, whether it's a situation that you've put yourself in or a situation that you were forced to be in, shout out to the single mothers out there, because y'all really do play a role in the community. I mean, granted, I want to see more two-parent households. I want to see more husbands and wives and not baby mamas and baby fathers. I've stressed that multiple times in this show, in previous episode. That's what I want to see. But, it's like, yeah, single mothers need love too. But we need to get to a point to where we can agree on certain things. Like, if I'm going to be loving a single mother, if I'm going to be marrying a single mother, if I'm going to be raising a child that is not mine, there has to be some boundaries that are set. And there has to be some, like, if I want to discipline the child, because it's going to need to happen, right? I need to be able to discipline the child the way I see fit. Yep. Without being told, like, oh, you're not her daddy, or you're not his daddy, or you're not my dad type of stuff. Like, nah, I ain't. Listen. And I'm the type of brother, me personally, I'm selfish in that aspect. If I'm raising somebody, you're my child. So I would just much rather have a biological child or adopt a child you know what I'm saying, that my wife and I can raise, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're my child. You don't have any other parents. We are your parents. You know what I'm saying? If it's a daughter, I'm walking you down the aisle. You're sweet 16. Your dance with your father is with me. Nobody else. That's just me. But hey, you know, I get it. Some brothers out there don't mind dating single mothers. Some brothers out there do mind dating single mothers. I'm one who does mind dating single moms. I just prefer not to.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Right. And I shouldn't have to be knocked for my preference, just like how Jacoby shouldn't have been knocked for his preference.
Yeah.
But I guess that's just the society that we live in right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, everybody's opinion. Listen, people are powerless without your reaction. All right. I think that's what we got to understand. All right. So no matter what opinions people may have of you, if it does not really serve you, or if it's something that's not really constructive criticism for you, you do not have to accept it. And I hope that's what Jacoby did.
People are powerless without your reaction.
Man, I learned it a long time ago, and it changed my life.
That is good right there.
I'm telling you, bro. They can't do nothing without your reaction. So just be mindful of the reactions that you give people.
Shoot, we got a few episode titles in this episode alone, so pick one.
Man. So, yeah, bro. Shout out to Jacoby, man. I'm glad to see he's doing well.
Yeah, for real.
And growing.
You know, I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel, so I've been kind of keeping tabs on him. I just didn't know he was going to be on this TV show, but shout out to Jacoby, man. You doing your thing.
Yeah, bro.
All right, well, hey, this was just mainly what I wanted to talk about, just regarding, you know, content being currency and people going viral and the type of day and age that we live in, to where it's just people are out there for clout, and some people, they get clout involuntarily. Like, it just happens. They go viral and I don't know. Like they don't know what to do with it. In the case of the young lady who went viral for posing herself in her Home Depot uniform, she didn't really care for the fame, but I mean, she still said that she's going to use her platform to kind of do certain things with it, even though she now feels like she might have to move away because people found out where she lives and stuff like that, which is scary in itself. Again, I will reiterate the fact that we said be careful of what it is that you're posting. Be careful of tagging your location. You just never know, man. In today's day and age, it's ridiculous out here in this social media area. So just be careful, please.
Yeah.
And then down to the whole situation with Jacoby, man. Like, you know, he went viral, and I didn't even think that he expected to go viral, but it happened. And I'm sure he's probably going to take this time and this moment to go in a different direction, or go into the direction that he's been going in, but he's probably going to capitalize off of this. Like, I even saw on Facebook, like, we're still friends on Facebook. He posted when World Star posted him. It's like, yo, we went viral on World Star. So I thought that was kind of funny. And it was just like, you know what? Take advantage of this, man. Like, even though some people are painting you in a bad light, hey,
I mean, you can turn everything to a good.
You can.
So, like you said, if somebody going and looking for something bad, they'll find it. I think if you looking for good, you can find it too.
Message.
Same way.
So we say all of that. And then, of course, with the relationships, man, we talked about that in the beginning. Hey, if you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for a relationship. But, you know, I personally think that the best relationships happen when you're not looking.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Those are the best. It sounds like it gives you something different.
Yeah.
So more so kind of like what you need.
Yeah.
In a way.
And it could also be what you want too. Cause like, I will say, although I got what I need, what I think I need out of this, it's definitely what I want. Yeah. She's definitely what I want. Man, so
it's a beautiful thing, brother.
Yeah, man.
Poster?
Huh?
About the poster next week?
Heck no. Bruh. What is wrong with you? Hey, listen, if you see me post, I might post a hand.
This guy.
I'm gonna post the back of her head or something, like, just so you know. But yeah, I ain't posting her. And she's cool with that.
That's good. That's all that matters, bro. Though none of the other stuff matters, bro.
No, not at all. Especially with how you said a couple of days ago, even if old girl came around and was like, hey, you know, it's about that time, I'm ready. I'm like, nah, fall back.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. That's how you know you got a good one on you.
Yeah, for real. And before I met the good one, you know what I'm saying? If Shorty came up with that offer like you proposed, she might, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beforehand, I probably would have definitely taken her up on that offer.
Yeah, most definitely.
But, you know.
But I mean, looking back on it now, I mean, it's like that wasn't really for you.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like what's for you right now, you have.
Yeah.
And it ain't really like an uphill battle. It's like it's going with you.
Yeah, that's a fact,
You
man.
know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
having to fight for this. Like it's just happening.
Yeah, like other girl, you would had to put in some different type of work. Come on.
Different type of work,
You
bro.
know
That would have been work.
Exactly. So it's just like you still got to put in work now.
Of course.
But it's like it's a different. It flows differently.
Whereas that one, yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, probably some resistance.
You're right about that, man.
You know
but
what I mean?
hey, either way, I think it would have been worth it. Either way.
Hey, but hey, you got you one, man. So
Facts.
Enjoy.
Will do. So, yeah, I'll let you make a speech at the wedding if it comes to it.
Hey, brother, whoa, hey, it's gonna be me and what's her name?
Oh yeah.
It gotta be me and Deja because she called it first, brother. So I think we gotta make a speech together.
I'll think about it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have today. Mike, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Nah, man. Just stay blessed and stay humble and love everyone that's around you.
Hey, so with that being said, this has been another episode of Residual Impact Podcast. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys who have made it this far throughout the episode. We thank you so much for tapping in with us. We couldn't do this without you because if you weren't here, in all honesty, we would just be sitting here talking to the microphones, man, talking to each other.
Pretty much.
And, without anybody like available to tune in. So, hopefully none of y'all took offense to what we had to say in this episode. And if you did, oh, well, these are our opinions. Everybody has their opinion. You guys are even entitled to your own opinions when it comes to us and the content that we have discussed today. It just comes with the territory. We are just two brothers voicing our opinions and what we have to say on our own show. So if you have your own opinions, start your own platform. This is our platform, and we got to say what we got to say. You dig? So with that being said, Mike, we cannot leave without saying what?
Where you are today
is a residual outcome
or the thoughts you had in the past.
Straight like that. Till next time.
Love y'all.
Peace.